Picture this. Monday morning, 6:47 a.m. Wojak Hamster rolls over, grabs his phone off the nightstand. That cold blue glow hits his face. He opens his bank app and his stomach folds in half. $212. Payday was 5 days ago. He had $1,900 on Friday. $1,900 gone. Not on rent, not on groceries, not on a single thing he can point to and say, "Yeah, I bought that, I needed that." He scrolls. Netflix, $14.99, Spotify, $11.99, Adobe Creative Cloud, $59.99. He hasn't touched Photoshop since last July. A meditation app, $14.99. The irony physically hurts. Paying for calm while drowning in charges that cause the stress. A fitness app he downloaded January 2nd because New Year's resolutions feel real at 2 a.m., $29.99. A meal kit he forgot to pause, $68. Two cloud gaming services he subscribed to for exclusive titles he played maybe 3 hours total, Hulu, Peacock, Paramount Plus. An audiobook app he used once in March. Every single charge came in silent. No ping, no confirmation, no, "Hey, we're about to take your money." Just quiet little bites. 5 here, 12 there, 30 over here. Stacked together, they ate $518 this month. $518. Every month, like clockwork. Now look across town. Flo King, programmer, works remote, 31 active subscriptions. He doesn't even know about half of them. Flo King treats subscriptions like browser tabs, opens them, forgets them, never closes them. His motto is 4 words long. It's only $12. That sentence has cost him more than his car, but he doesn't know that yet. And then there's El Pepperoni. Same city, same ballpark salary. El Pepperoni pays for exactly 3 subscriptions. 3. Total monthly cost, $41. Not because he's some monk eating rice in a dark room. El Pepperoni just figured out something the other two haven't. Every subscription is a bet. You're betting you'll use it enough to justify paying every single month for the rest of your life. And most bets, you lose. Wojak Hamster's story is about to get much worse before it gets better. If you want to see the exact moment his path splits from El Pepperoni's, and trust me, the math will make you physically uncomfortable, subscribe now. Every video is another trap we rip apart together. Because here's what nobody explains about why these charges even exist. The subscription model wasn't built to give you convenience. It was built to make you forget. And the company that perfected this trick changed everything around 2012. Before that year, you bought things. After that year, things started buying you. And the difference between those two sentences? That's the difference between building wealth and bleeding it out $5 at a time. But the way they built this machine is borderline genius and borderline evil. Let me show you the exact blueprint, because once you see the wiring, you can never unsee it. Every company you deal with today studied the same playbook. One golden rule: make the sign-up feel like nothing. Make the cancellation feel like a breakup. Think about the last time you signed up for a free trial. One click. Card already on file. Confetti on screen. Welcome aboard. Now think about the last time you tried to cancel. Buried settings. Tiny link at the bottom. 3 screens of, "Are you sure?" An offer for 50% off. An offer to pause. And sometimes, you had to call an actual human being whose only job on this planet is to talk you out of leaving. That asymmetry isn't an accident. It's architecture. The industry has a term for people who pay but never use the product. They call them sleepers. And sleepers are the most profitable customers in the entire subscription economy. More profitable than power users. More profitable than fans who tell their friends. A sleeper is pure margin. They pay, they cost nothing to serve, and they never complain. The perfect customer is the one who forgot you exist. The average American carries somewhere between 12 and 15 active subscriptions right now. Studies show 84% of people underestimate what they spend monthly. They guess around $80. The real number sits closer to 270. Some, like Wojak Hamster and Flo King, are north of 500. Wojak Hamster never thought of himself as a sleeper, but last month he paid for 8 apps he didn't open once. Not once. The industry has a name for him, and it's not flattering. If this is clicking for you, if you just mentally counted your own subscriptions and felt that little twist in your gut, smash that like button. It's free, it takes half a second, and it helps more people see the trap before it closes. Now let me show you what $518 a month actually becomes when you stretch it across time, because that number sounds annoying. But it's not annoying. It's devastating. And the math is about to prove it. Flo King finally did something he'd been avoiding for 2 years. He sat down on a Sunday night, opened a spreadsheet, because of course he used a spreadsheet, he's a programmer, and listed every single active subscription. It took 40 minutes just to find them all. Some were buried in PayPal, some were on a debit card he barely uses. One was going through his Apple ID and didn't show on his bank statement at all. When he totaled it up, $518 per month. He stared at it. Then he multiplied by 12, $6,216 per year, on stuff he mostly doesn't use. Then he did the thing that really stung. 10 years, $62,160. Every service hikes prices $2 or $3 a year, hoping you won't notice. That pushes the real 10-year number past $70,000. $70,000. That's a down payment on a house in most of America. 3 years of maxing out a Roth IRA. The difference between retiring at 62 and retiring at 55. But here's what really separates Flo King's world from El Pepperoni's. It's not just the spending, it's the opportunity cost. El Pepperoni takes that difference, roughly $477 a month, and drops it into a simple index fund. Nothing fancy. No day trading, no meme coins, no crypto moonshots. A boring, reliable index fund averaging about 10% a year historically. Over 10 years, that 477 doesn't stay at 57,000. It compounds to roughly 98,000. Over 20 years, north of 360,000. Same salary, same city. One person builds a six-figure portfolio. The other person watched 9,000 hours of content they barely remember and paid for apps collecting dust on a phone screen. Flo King stared at his spreadsheet, closed the laptop, opened it again. The number was still there. Now you're probably thinking, okay, but Flo King is extreme. 31 subscriptions? That's not me. I've got maybe 15, maybe 12. I'm not that bad. And you might be right. But here's what you're missing, and it's the part that turns a small leak into a flood. Your credit card. Wojak Hamster has 16 subscriptions, 320 a month, less than Flo King. He feels okay about that. Shouldn't, because Wojak Hamster carries a balance on his credit card, $8,400 and climbing. And sitting inside that balance are hundreds of dollars of accumulated subscription charges that snowballed with interest over months, over years. That $14.99 Netflix charge on a card with 24% APR that he's only making minimums on. That Netflix isn't costing $14.99. It's costing closer to $19 a month once interest compounds. Every single subscription on a revolving balance is silently more expensive than the sticker price. Wojak Hamster is paying interest on a meditation app he used for 2 weeks in January. He's paying interest on a gym membership he signed up for 14 months ago and has visited 3 times. 3 times. That works out to about $93 per gym visit after interest. He could have hired a personal trainer for less. And here's the part that should genuinely make you angry. 55% of credit card holders in America don't pay their balance in full. More than half. And the credit card companies know that recurring subscription charges are the single best way to keep balances high. Predictable, sticky, invisible. They love Wojak Hamster. They call him a revolver. Someone who revolves debt month after month, generating interest revenue forever. That's their favorite type of customer. They send him credit limit increases. They send him rewards offers. They make him feel special while they extract compound interest from his forgotten meditation app. Meanwhile, the banks have a different word for El Pepperoni. They call him a deadbeat. That's the actual industry term for someone who pays in full every month and never generates interest revenue. El Pepperoni wears that word like a badge of honor. The system can't extract money from someone who pays attention, but even if you pay your card in full, and if you do, genuinely, good for you, you're still losing something you can never get back. And what that something is will change how you see every $12 charge on your statement. Forever. Every dollar you spend on a forgotten subscription is a dollar that didn't go into your 401k match. And if your employer matches even 3%, that forgotten dollar just cost you $2. One from your pocket. One your employer would have handed you for free. $2. Multiply that by 12 months, by 10 years, by the raw force of compound growth, and suddenly that it's only $12 meditation app has cost you over $4,000 in lost retirement money. Money that was sitting on a table, free, and nobody walked over to pick it up. El Pepperoni picked it up on day one. He has a system, simple, brutal, effective. He calls it the value per swipe test. Every first Sunday of the month, always the same chair, always with his home-brewed coffee that costs him roughly 12 cents a cup. He opens his bank statement. For every subscription, one question. How many times did I actually use this in the last 30 days? Then he divides the monthly cost by that number. That's his cost per use. Netflix at $14.99, used 12 times. About $1.25 per use. Fine, that stays. Spotify at $11.99, used almost daily. Under 40 cents per use. Stays. New York Times Digital at $17, open twice. $8.50 per read. Gone. He can get the same news free. Cloud storage at $9.99. 4 gigs used out of 200. Downgraded to free tier. Saved $120 a year without losing a single file. El Pepperoni doesn't hate spending. He hates spending unconsciously. There's a canyon between those two things. One is a choice. The other is a leak. Last year, even El Pepperoni slipped. Found a podcast hosting subscription from a side project he abandoned. 3 months of charges he missed. $36 wasted. He canceled it in 40 seconds and moved on. The point isn't perfection. The point is, the system catches what your memory doesn't. Now, Wojak Hamster tried this once. Tuesday night, beer in hand, bank app open. He made it through 6 subscriptions before the cringe hit his chest like heartburn. He closed the app, put the phone down, turned on Netflix, the subscription he's most sure he uses, and didn't think about it again. But something was different this time. When the Netflix intro sound played, he heard $14.99, not loud, just a whisper. The seed was planted, and this is where it gets uncomfortable. Because the subscriptions you know about, they're not the real problem. The real danger is the ones you've completely forgotten, the ones that have been running silent for months, eating your money like termites behind drywall. You don't see the damage until the floor gives out. Flo King found 11 subscriptions he didn't know existed. A resume builder from a job search 2 years ago. A dating app he hadn't opened in 8 months. A VPN from a trip overseas he never canceled. Each one between $8 and $20 a month. Together, $167 monthly. Ghosts in his bank account. Behavioral economists call this set and forget bias. Companies designed their billing to be invisible. No paper statements, no push notifications for recurring charges, just a quiet line buried in a list you'll never scroll far enough to see. They built it this way on purpose. Your forgetfulness is their revenue model, but knowing the problem and fixing it are two completely different skills. And this is exactly where most people freeze. They see the number, feel the pain, and then do absolutely nothing, because the system made quitting hard on purpose. So let's talk about the actual escape. Not theory, not motivation. Specific moves that take 20 minutes and can save you thousands this year. El Pepperoni does a full subscription audit every January and July. Twice a year. He says it's the highest value 20 minutes he spends all year. More valuable per minute than anything at his job. Here's exactly what he does. He opens bank and credit card statements for the last 90 days. Not 30, 90. Because some subscriptions bill quarterly or annually, and a 30-day window misses them. Every recurring charge goes on a list. Name, amount, last time used. 3 columns. Notes app on his phone. Nothing fancy. Then he sorts everything into 3 piles. El Pepperoni looks at Spotify. Used daily. Stays. Looks at the New York Times. Opened twice in 60 days. Canceled. Gone. Done. Looks at cloud storage. Doesn't cancel it. Downgrades. Free tier. Saved $120 a year without losing a single file he needs. That third pile, the downgrade pile, is where the hidden gold lives. Most people think subscriptions are binary, keep or cancel, but downgrading saves almost as much without giving up anything you actually use. Wojak Hamster pays for premium music with hi-fi audio. He listens through his phone's built-in speaker while washing dishes. He literally cannot hear the difference between premium and basic through a $2 speaker. But he pays $5 extra a month for the privilege of not hearing a difference. $60 a year for nothing. Now, Flo King tried to cancel his subscriptions last week. He clicked cancel on a streaming service. Screen 1, are you sure? He clicked yes. Screen 2, how about 50% off for 3 months? His finger hovered. 3 seconds. 5 seconds. This is the exact moment the company designed. This pause, this hesitation. This is where they win back 80% of people who try to leave. Flo King's finger moved toward accept offer. Then he remembered the spreadsheet. $62,000. He clicked cancel anyway. Screen 3. We're sorry to see you go. Your access continues until the end of your billing period. 3 screens. 3 psychological traps. And this was one of the easy ones. Some services make you call a phone number during business hours. Some make you chat with a retention agent who's trained to use your first name 11 times in 4 minutes. The cancellation maze is engineered friction, and it works on most people. El Pepperoni's shortcut. When he hits a cancellation maze, he doesn't argue. He calls his credit card company and blocks the charge. Done. Let the subscription service figure it out. His money, his rules. Some of you are thinking, isn't there an app that handles all this automatically? There are. Trim, Rocket Money, a few others. They scan your accounts, find recurring charges, cancel things for you. But here's the catch El Pepperoni wants you to know. These apps charge their own subscription fee, $3 to $12 a month. So you're paying for a subscription to cancel your subscriptions. Use the free version for the initial scan, find your ghosts, then delete the app. Don't add another recurring charge to solve your recurring charge problem. Now the real question, the one that separates people who feel motivated for a day from people who actually change their lives. Where does the freed up money go? Because canceling subscriptions feels good for about 72 hours. Then that money just gets absorbed into random spending unless you redirect it the same day. El Pepperoni has an automatic transfer. The day his paycheck lands, $477 moves into his brokerage account. He never sees it, never touches it. It buys index fund shares the same day. No thinking, no deciding, no, I'll invest next month. Automation is the only willpower that doesn't run out. If you don't have a brokerage account, start simpler. A high-yield savings account. Several are paying over 4.5% right now. That's roughly 450 times what the big banks give you on regular savings. Your bank pays you 0.01% while earning 5% on your money. Read that again. They're making 450 times more on your cash than they are paying you. El Pepperoni moved his emergency fund to a high-yield account 2 years ago and has earned over $600 in interest doing absolutely nothing. And if your employer offers a 401k match you haven't maxed, that's where the first freed up dollars go. Before the brokerage, before the high-yield savings, because an employer match is an instant 100% return. No investment in history consistently beats your boss doubling your deposit for free. Wojak Hamster still hasn't logged into his company's benefits portal, doesn't know his match percentage, free money on a table, and he won't walk over because the paperwork feels annoying. But remember that Tuesday night? Beer, bank app, 6 subscriptions, cringe, Netflix? Something shifted in Wojak Hamster after that. Small, quiet, but real. He couldn't unhear the $14.99 in the Netflix sound, so the following weekend he sat down again. This time no beer, just water and his bank statement and a notes app open to a blank page. He went through everything. 16 subscriptions, $320 a month. He kept 4, canceled 9, downgraded 3. His new monthly total, $67. The difference, $253. He set up an automatic transfer into a high-yield savings account. Took him 22 minutes. 3 months later, same Monday morning, same alarm, same phone, same bank app. Wojak Hamster opens it and sees $1,142 in checking. His savings account shows $3,900, an emergency fund that didn't exist 90 days ago. His car's check engine light comes on during the commute. Same car, same light. But this time, it's not a crisis. It's a Tuesday. He calls the mechanic, pays $480 from his emergency fund, and drives home. No credit card, no interest, no panic spiral, no lying awake at 3 a.m. calculating how long until the repo man shows up. Flo King is getting there too. He canceled 19 of his 31 subscriptions. Felt weird for 3 days. Then forgot they ever existed, the same way he forgot he was paying for them. His monthly bleed dropped from $518 to $144. The difference, $374, auto-transfers into his Roth IRA now. He ran the compound math in his own spreadsheet because that's how Flo King processes feelings. If he keeps this up for 25 years, $374 a month becomes roughly $440,000. He stared at that number for a long time. Then he went upstairs and canceled his mom's Peacock subscription too. El Pepperoni is already past this level. His audit is maintenance now. Quick, routine, painless, like brushing teeth. His real focus is the next tier of invisible expenses. Extended warranties that auto-renew. Insurance riders he never claimed. Bank fees disguised as account maintenance. But that's a different trap for a different day. Right now, this is about tonight. Your phone. Your bank app. 20 minutes. While you watch this, somewhere between 1 and 3 subscriptions auto-renewed for someone in this audience. The charge was small, the notification was silent, and the company that took that money is counting on one thing, that nobody notices. If this changed how you see that $9.99 charge that just hit your account, subscribe and hit the bell. Every week we dissect another trap the system set for Wojak Hamster and show you how El Pepperoni walks right past it. Drop a comment. What's your total when you add up every subscription? I read every single one. The subscription economy was built on one bet, that you'll always be too busy, too comfortable, or too lazy to look at where your money goes. Wojak Hamster proved that bet wrong 3 months ago, and his life already looks different. Flo King proved it wrong last week. El Pepperoni proved it wrong years ago. Your turn. 20 minutes. Tonight. The system wasn't broken. It was built to bleed you slowly. But now you see the cuts. And people who see the cuts stop bleeding. That's the whole game.